Hello, it is Coach Dr. Wu, and this is part 2 of what freedom can look like. Some more testimonials to share. One of the areas of life is relationships, and freedom in relationships. Remember the boundaries, the healthy boundaries, where I begin and another person starts. And the ability to love yourself, to know yourself, to accept yourself and love yourself, and then be able to really get to know someone else and accept that person and then choose whether that is the person you are going to love. So I'm just going to give you a little background. So I was able to have the privilege of actually walking someone, a couple, that divorced a long time ago because they had to go through a trauma that basically broke up the marriage. But I was able to coach both younger selves and actually show them how to really employ what we call appreciative communication, which means to understand the other person's map, to understand their worldview, and to have that appreciative listening skills, and to even know your own triggers and where your boundaries are. And then to actually have the ability to communicate, because all loss of relationship is just a failure to communicate. So when we cannot communicate in mind, body, and spirit, that is when the relationship does not survive. So all relationships can be restored or reconnected if both people are willing to do these practices. And these are also just amazing practices, that active listening, to be able to understand where the other person is coming from, to understand our own triggers and what is actually causing us to think a certain way, to believe a certain thing, to put meanings on events or conversations that were actually not so accurate. So with this couple, they were able to find complete restoration, to really realize that, wow, neither one of them ever really rejected or abandoned each other. They always cared for each other, always loved one another, and always wanted to support each other. However, due to the lack of communication skills and also any kind of skills to even deal with the effects of trauma and how to go through a traumatic event, life event, they couldn't reconnect. And so through the coaching, they were able to reconnect and the love was restored. Yeah. And the healing and the wholeness to know that, wow, you were never rejected. You were never abandoned. You were always loved. You were always cared for. You always belonged. The only thing that kept it away was the fear and the trigger responses and the stress responses from life's traumas. And that applies to so many of us, right? So I love this restoration work. It is so amazing. It is not just for the individual, but it also helps to heal all the relationships that this individual has with everybody in their lives, right? Just wanted to share that one testimonial with you about relationships. And then, one more. The other area of life is what could freedom look like in your spiritual life, right? And that really digs into your identity, the I am statements. And so one of my clients, she was just so amazed and just so light bulbs went off when she said, wow, as I was studying Ephesians 1 and 2, realize who I am. Wow, I'm chosen. I'm chosen. I am fully forgiven. I am valued. I am cherished. I am a child of the Most High God. I am wonderfully, fearfully made and created. I have a hope and a future. And so when she was connected with her Creator God, that intimacy, that vibrancy, just something just came alive, and she's walking in it. And it's a relationship. It's an eternal relationship that's going to go on forever. How much more is there of of the Lord, right? Of Creator God that we can get to know. It's like the knowing, right? The knowing, in any relationships. Because remember, God created us to have a relationship with Him, and then with ourselves, and then with others, other human beings. So it's that knowing, right? That knowing, that compassion, that curiosity, that knowing. To be fully known and to be fully loved. This is what we all want, right? Is to love and to be loved. I just love the coaching work that I am privileged to get to do. So contact me and see if I can be of assistance, a little guide as you journey over the bridge of feeling maybe stuck into actually being onto your road, onto forward for freedom. Forward for freedom. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed. We have been given life to be lived in an abundance. That means shalom, peace. That means wholeness, peace. Everything mended. All the broken pieces from the traumas of life or crisis or losses are actually put back together with God's golden love to create an amazing vessel that's even more noble, more resilient, more strong, and yet more loving. Right? And to bring Him glory and for our good and to bless others. That's what we do, right? You are blessed and you are free. Remember, you are blessed, you are free, you are loved, accepted, invited, always wanted, and you are supported and always cared for. You are greatly loved. Shalom, peace. You are loved and free.